Hello, everyone. Matt Malatesta, VYPE Media, Coach's Corner. We're going to the Pacific Northwest. Taylor Forney is the head volleyball coach at Eastside Catholic High School. Coach, welcome. This upcoming season begins now. What do you think the strength of this team will be?
Yeah, I think, different than other years for us in the 7 years I've been here, we've been a really offensive powerhouse. And I think this year specifically, we're really changing our focus to utilize the defensive power that we have. We have a really big set of, five, six, seven defensive players that are really going to be interchangeable and usable for us, which we haven't had in the past. So it's kind of cool to see a change.
Volleyball, massive popularity now. What do you think? What is it about the sport that gets people checking out TikTok, watching college games? The popularity has just blown up over the past couple of years. And here in Texas, professional teams as well have kind of blossomed as well.
Yeah, I think, some of those big NCAA programs are really bringing a lot of light to what we're doing. I think Nebraska's team is a really great representation of not just, having amazing athletes, but like showing what the volleyball culture is all about and how these girls can, be supportive of each other, but still be, fierce athletes. And I think so. I just think, some of those bigger teams are really drawing that awareness of it's not just a sport of hitting a ball around. There's some culture behind it and there's some history behind it and all of that too. And then you add on, some great athletic talent and it kind of pulls it all together.
Big personalities, super athletic, and I dare anybody to get in front of somebody spiking it onto their face. I mean, it's powerful. Okay, so your journey to Eastside Catholic has been what?
While I've been here or
Well, no, you grew up on the
oh
other
yeah,
side of the mountains. Like,
yeah,
what's been your volleyball journey?
totally. Yeah. So I started playing really young. I was, 8, 9, 10 years old when I first really got into it. And I started playing club pretty early, had a really big love of it, and then kind of forego the college options that I have to just start coaching. So I started coaching a lot younger than most people do. I started coaching when I was 18 and I've done it ever since. So it started just, coaching club and getting involved with some of those younger kids and then transformed into coaching high school and actually coaching with one of my previous coaches. And so it's just grown from there. And she's actually coaching with me now and is one of my assistants. So it's kind of been this interesting little turn of events. And it's just really grown pretty organically.
Full circle moment. Girls coaching girls is hard. What do you think the biggest intangible is in a locker room coaching a successful girls program?
Yeah, I think there's definitely, a mental balance that you've got to help these kids find. And sometimes they have a hard time finding it on their own, especially now that there's so much pressure, socially and to fit in on the TikToks and all of the Instagram posts and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit different than the boys that can beat each other up in the hallways and then go play a or go play a football game together, right? You got to keep them balanced all the time and make sure that they're getting along not only when they're on the court with us, but they're treating each other with respect when they're in school together or when they're away from each other. So I think there's definitely a big mental difference there, but if we can find it and keep it healthy, it ends up working out really well.
Expectations for this team. What do you think? Maybe short term, long term for this particular season.
Totally. Yeah. I think, again, we're going to really lean into our defensive power because it's really already working for us. We're seeing a lot of that defensive chemistry already coming together in practice. And so, again, that's something completely different than what our prior teams have done. But I do think, it's pretty easy to say that we should be one of the top defensive teams in our league. And the other parts of the league have lost big offensive pieces too. So I think as a whole, we're just going to try and delve into whatever the other opponents can't handle. So we do have a few big hitters that are coming back, some strong middle presence specifically, some great outside hitters that play for some great club programs on their downtime. So it's going to be interesting just to see how we can take that defensive power and help that feed our offense and make both of those circuits helpful and help for on both ends of the game.
Okay, so give us some names. Who are the alphas in the locker room? Who's going to be your leaders?
Yeah, so we've got a few seniors coming back this year. We only have three, which is a smaller senior class for us. Two of which are some big outside hitters, both play for some very well-known clubs in the area. So Elaine and our outside Lauren, there's going to be some big magic happening out there, and they're also great defensive players. So we get to see both parts of their game moving forward. And, we've got some, again, like I mentioned, our liberos coming back are solid. We've got two that are pretty much interchangeable. You could use them both at any time. So it'll be interesting to see how those two step up and work together to make this whole thing work. And then we also have a really strong bench sitting beside them that on any given day, I can pick pretty much any one of them and put them in there. And I will say that that's also a little bit different for us from previous years is the strength of our bench is going to speak volumes of what we're able to do moving forward.
Culture. What have you tried to build there just over the 7 years that you've been a coach there? What is the culture you've hoped to have built?
Totally. Yeah. We lean very big on creating a family like environment. We don't expect these girls to be best friends outside of the gym, but we expect them to have the best respect for each other that's possible and, maintain that level of excellence, not only in being a student, but being kind to each other. And I think that's really grown over the 7 years that I've been here. You get to see these kids, like even when the season's over, they're all in pictures together. They're still enjoying themselves and they stay in contact with each other. In fact, I have coaches, or kids coming back to coach with me that I've coached that have been here. We have one on our coaching staff this year. She played for me for my first 2 years at Eastside Catholic and loved the culture and what we do. And so she actually is coming back to coach with us this season. So
That's what it's all about. That is
yeah.
what it's all about. Coach, good luck this season. We'll catch you on down the line to see how the season progresses. This is Taylor Forney, Eastside Catholic's volleyball coach. Coach, good luck. This
Thank
is
you.
VYPE, Matt with VYPE. We'll see y'all at the games.
Thank you so much.